The Pentagon confirming, quote, activity associated with chemical weapons at a Syrian air base amid fears of yet a possible chemical attack. This on the heels of the White House warning the oppressive Syrian regime that Bashar al-Assad and his military will, quote, pay a heavy price if his regime conducts another chemical attack. Here to discuss, Herb London and Jesse Jane Duff. Herb, I've got to ask you, first of all, I mean, the idea that they would do this is really, it would be crazy if it was any other, perhaps, regime outside of North Korea and Syria. But who do we ultimately get to listen to? Would it be Bashar al-Assad? Would it be the Russians? Would it be the Iranians?
Keep in mind that Assad is now a puppet of both the Iranians and the Russians and Hezbollah. He really doesn't have an independent voice. Anything that happens in Syria happens because of those other three entities. If there is going to be an attack, there is no doubt that the Russians know. Do the Russians want a direct confrontation with the United States? I do not think so. As a consequence, one of the opportunities that exists here is to peel off the Russians from this alliance with Iran. That is a distinct possibility. And if I were Tillerson, I would say, look, we'll avert our gaze to the aircraft carrier base you have in Tartus, to the air base that you have in Latakia, but you know something, you've got to control Assad.
Herb, some people are concerned, though, that the neocons have invaded the White House and have elbowed in, and that they may have too much influence. Is this about neocons, or is this about something different?
I think that this is a fundamental foreign policy decision. It has nothing to do with the ideology of the neocons. I think it has an awful lot to do with Trump asserting himself, demonstrating that in this part of the world we have interests. We have interests to protect the Peshmerga, interests to protect the Free Syrian Army, that's what's left of it, and interest to protect those troops on the ground. That's why we have these flyovers. That's why a Syrian plane was shot out of the skies. The Americans have an interest. Erdogan once said, in talking about the future of Syria, we're going to sit around the table, we're going to have the Turks, we're going to have the Russians, we're going to have the Iranians,
quickly, then,
but not the Americans.
Assad crosses that red line because he did it before and nothing happened. How do we retaliate?
Well, again, you saw 59 Tomahawk missiles go into Syria. That may happen again, except it won't be 59 this time. It'll be 159.
Real quick.